ICOs are getting a little bit more difficult to run in the landscape of 2018, especially when you start off the year with a bear market. Today we're discussing, this is a little bit of news but a little bit of opinion mixed in about ICOs and the most powerful people in terms of the crypto sphere. That's right, the guys who own the cryptocurrency exchanges. So how much does it actually cost to list your token even if it didn't have an ICO? Let's just say you have a token or coin that's out there, right? How much does it actually cost to get listed on Binance or Bittrex? And yes, if you didn't know, there are prices. My name is Mike Kabira. Let's chat about that today. A sunrise at the end of this video that I'm going to show you absolutely was phenomenal today. Now, of course, the sun has set, but it costs an average of anywhere from $50,000 to $1 million plus to get your token listed on one of these main exchanges. Now, yesterday, I had one of my partners send me over an image of some random token that as soon as it got put onto Binance, it went up over 66%. Now, when you're dealing with something that, let's say, has $20 million, and out of that $20 million, you got, I don't know, let's say $3 million in your pocket, and you just make 60% in a single day. But that's just from a single day. I mean, if you're looking at the long term, let's say it goes 200% because everybody's super excited, ooh, well, you just made a lot of money. So if you're investing $500,000, that's fine, because at the long term, you're making way more profit and you're reaching a much larger audience than you ever could have in the first place, right? And as soon as you're listed on one exchange, the rest want to deal with you. So how does it work? First of all, if you are friends with anybody who owns an exchange, let's say you go out to dinner with your buddy who owns Binance, CZ, right? He's your homie, then you're most likely going to be good. If he owes you a favor, hey, what's up, CZ? Can you list me? Cool, I'm running an ICO. Awesome, cheers. All right, see you in 6 months, right? So that's the first way tokens get listed. The second is if they're super, super hyped. Now, if this is a small exchange, then tokens that have been going full out, they got like 50,000 plus users on Telegram, they sold out in, you know, a couple minutes, they had big private sales, they did whatever they did, right? A lot of these exchanges, if they're not friends with these guys already, or maybe they had some contacts or whatever, but they don't really know each other too well, that's fine, because they might reach out at that point. Or if the ICO reaches out and, you know, they have a lot of money and all that, they're just like, you know what, it's fine, because if we list this guy, then we get a new audience coming into this exchange, especially if it's the geo game, right? So let's say you got a South Korean exchange, you got a South Korean token, well, of course, they want to help out their own kind. Now, if the hype is not there, and you're not friends with any of these exchange owners, then it gets a little tricky. If you have a fantastic idea and it seems not too sketchy, like you got a platform, you got everything running, and maybe the ICO didn't sell out, but it was decent, and you got some cash, well, at that point, if you contact the smaller exchanges first, you're gonna have larger success. So these guys that aren't number one, but maybe they're secondary exchanges, you know, you have to pay a fine of $50,000 or even up to a couple $100,000, but you know, you're a millionaire regardless, you just collected 10 million, and being on this new exchange, at least you can tell everybody, hey, you know, pump up the Telegram group that you're in here, so that's what you do. I have known ICO CEOs that have paid $0 to get listed on particular exchanges, I'm not going to name any names, and I've known other ICO CEOs that have paid up to $500,000 to get listed on that same exchange. It's either you know somebody, or they like you, or it's the other end where they may not love you, but you're okay. And if you're okay, you gotta pay a fee. And depending on how much you're okay, well, you know, they're gonna adjust the fee for everybody else. And the more traffic that they're getting, the more the fee's gonna go up. That's normal marketing and that's normal business, right? Now, as everything keeps growing, the fees for people that aren't so liked, and maybe it's a little sketchy, but they're still better than, you know, the thousands of other tokens out there. I mean, Binance has reported that it got, within the first couple months, over 5,000 applications. People have been reporting even fees of over $1 million to be listed, some as high as $5 million. Now, just to put things into perspective, a single day of advertising on CoinMarketCap can run an ICO anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. That's a single day of advertising. So yes, some of these prices that are over $1 million actually do make a lot of sense, especially, you know, with the end goal in mind. The ICO is great if you want to become a millionaire in terms of your net worth, and that's that, because that's not where the real money is. The real money is actually going through a successful ICO, and successful means that you got profit in terms of for yourself, but you're able to pay out your employees, you're able to pay out the platform, you're able to pay out all the fees, all the fines, whatever your main goal was. You're able to do that successfully, no stress. Hey, you got an extra $1 million or $2 million left over for marketing, and you're thinking, well, what's the best type of marketing? Getting yourself listed on exchange. Boom, that goes into your marketing budget. You start going to these conferences, you see, oh, this guy works for Binance. Well, you buddy up with him, and then you kind of go after a couple meetings, and boom, before you know it, you're able to speak with somebody who can actually deal with, whatever you want to do, right? So the news has been reporting that some projects have been paying even over $1 million to get listed, and I'm sure these fees will continue to go up in price as some ICOs have raised over $100 million, and some of these big exchanges are going through users, millions and millions of trades, right? So at that point, you're talking with billions of dollars. What's $1 million to a company that's, listing thousands of tokens, right? Anybody that can't pay those fees, they're going to be forced to in the future if they really, really, really want to be on that exchange, or, they just forgotten about. And the better ICOs that are able to raise $100 million, they're not really going to care if they're listed on one of the best exchanges out there, and then, hey, all the others will be a little bit easier. Now, if you're listed on Binance, let's say going to Bittrex, even if you may not know anybody, the fees are automatically going to be lowered. It's just how it works, right? As soon as one person goes in, as soon as one exchange likes you, the rest are going to be much more okay with you. As soon as one investor goes into your ICO, whether it's public or private, it's going to be a little bit easier for everybody to go else in. As soon as you got one big influencer, one YouTuber, one blog, one website writing about you, it's going to be easier, as you can tell. Grows exponentially, gets super exciting, and then, hey, it hopefully has a snowball effect, and before you know it, you're Mark Zuckerberg. Now, in my personal opinion, this is where I'm going to go a little bit off. I think certain companies are paying for their listings to be moved up and down on, let's say, for something like CoinMarketCap, because there's not too much regulation out here in crypto. It is the Wild West after all, and there are certain differences between CoinMarketCap and other listing websites where we see, they may not be much, but just moving up a spot may mean an extra $1 million to you, because more people see it, more people are looking at it, and they're like, oh, well, it's in the top 10, it's in the top 20, it's in the top 100 new coins of this month or whatever, right? So if you were an ICO CEO, what would you do? Would you want to go work the hard way, try and get all that hype, or would you pay an exchange $1 million? Do you think that's morally okay? Is this a problem? I mean, from my perspective, it's just business. That's how things work. And of course, it would be probably silly if the exchanges, ooh, that sounded like a Porsche or something speeding past. You probably didn't hear it, but there's some sexy cars every now and then. Anyways, if I was an exchange owner, that's pretty much what I do. Now, the government officials of certain countries are saying that as soon as more regulation comes down onto place for certain exchanges, this isn't really going to be happening. They're going to clamp down on the situation. And a lot of people who have opinions also believe that this will happen soon, but I'm giving it another year or two before, something really happens. Welcome to the Wild West of Crypto, baby. My name is Michael Cabero. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. Good morning, everybody. It is a cloudy day, but that is a beautiful sunset. Ooh, look at that. There we go. That's better. Check it. Check it.